Well, it is officially the most wonderful time of the year, not only the holiday season, but a chance for me, Dave Rettelberger, with Schottenstein Center and Nationwide Arena to reunite with my long-lost partner in crime, Gary, the Arena Guy. Arena Guy, happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. It is the most wonderful time of the year. Fa la 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 la. And it's great to see you again. We were just talking a little bit ago. We have not seen each other in person since March 8th.
It was Dan and Shay, a day that I will live in infamy for so many of us in the Columbus arena business, where I remember backstage with Dan and Shay's manager joking about, hey, can we shake hands and stuff? Or are we not allowed to do that now? And then I think we were just going to get a little 2-week break, right? But
yeah. Yeah. So that's an eternal trivia question. What was the last show before we shut down? 10, 20 years from now, we'll be talking about how crazy 2020 was with COVID and just really the way of the world. And Dan and Shay will be that trivia question. Another one of my favorite trivia questions is, what act played Nationwide Arena as their first arena show ever outside of Nashville? And it was also their last arena show ever.
And that's also
someday.
Yeah, it's also Dan and Shay, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, look.
Currently, right now, it's their first and only arena show ever outside of Nashville. That'll certainly change, hopefully, late spring, summer. But as of now, we hold that distinction.
Yeah, I look forward to the trivia question. What was our first big arena show back?
Right? Oh, I know. I can't wait.
That one I can't wait for.
And we may not see each other much that day either, because you will be crazy busy. And I'm anticipating lots of media coverage outside the arena and be dealing with that. And so maybe we won't even see each other for that first show, because it's going to be so wild. It's going to be crazy in a good way. And it's something that I know we both look forward to.
Well, one of the things we always look forward to this time of year is the great holiday shows, right? And,
that's a good segue.
I know, right? Hey, there we go. That's why we, I'm not out of practice on that. I just do segues all the time at home.
Yeah.
No, but it's true though. We have had so many great holiday shows over the years, and there's some cool virtual stuff we'll mention. But let's start with the one that you're holding up right there on your shirt.
Yeah.
The one and only Miss Amy Grant, frequent guest on the Gary O'Brien radio show over the years, right?
That's right. She was, yeah. And a frequent performer at the arenas, I believe mostly at Nationwide. We start losing track after a while, but I think Nationwide with Michael W. Smith. And they've had some great stars in the past, including the performer that sang in Bohemian Rhapsody, the Freddie Mercury part, and then also a winner of The Voice, and Jordan, Josh, I've forgotten his name, sorry. But this Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant Christmas show is just one of the funnest. It's one of the nicest. It's a great way to bring in the holidays. I actually have some props. So they have a snowball fight on stage. And I actually have a couple of the actual snowballs, but we've been working from home, well, mostly, and my props are in my office, which I haven't seen for 6 months.
Yeah, you actually, we kind of teased the arena guy about this, that he's had these snowballs from the Amy Grant Christmas concert sitting on his desk, just, sitting in the corner of his desk for what, it's going on 2.5 years now.
Yeah. Hey, there's snowballs, and I love props when do Good Day Columbus and some other shows, so use those. But you're right, the Christmas shows really get you in the mood. We have had some great Christmas shows in the past, and this year is going to be a little bit different. And Christmas shows are not happening because of COVID. They still are, but just in a different way.
Yeah, sure. And so, what is it about a Christmas show? Because we know in the business, Christmas shows tend to sell pretty well. Right. So if you take what an artist does usually and then make it a Christmas show, it gets a little uptick, right? It actually gets a little bonus. So what is it about those holiday shows that you think the crowd just really loves?
I think they're feel good. I think they're great for the whole family. It gets you into the spirit. You have a smile from start to finish. You recognize almost all of the songs, even if you aren't necessarily a mega fan of that particular artist. You know that it's going to be festive and fun with Christmas songs and carols that we all know and enjoy. And it's a great way just to lead up to the actual Christmas and holiday season.
Well, if we're going to talk Christmas shows and Christmas traditions, there is none bigger in Columbus than Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, TSO, has just grown over the years from where it used to play Vets Memorial to where it would do one show at Nationwide Arena, to then where it would do two shows at Nationwide Arena, occasionally over at the Schottenstein Center as well. And boy, this is just, it's the rock and roll nutcracker. It's a holiday tradition for so many families.
It really is. And it is a tradition. I mean, I can't tell you, I'm sure you can say the same, how many people have told me they see TSO every single year at Nationwide Arena. And Trans-Siberian Orchestra is a tradition here in Columbus because it's played Nationwide Arena every year for the past 20 years, except for one. There's a schedule conflict and it played the Schott. So they've been in Columbus every single year for the past 20 years. This year will be no different. They will be in Columbus, but in a different way.
Yeah, right. So just like so many other things in 2020, we're mixing it up, right? We're trying something new. And so this year, TSO doing a virtual show, right?
Yeah, on December 18th at 8 p.m. All the details on TSO, TransSiberianOrchestra.com, but it's going to be a virtual concert. So those people here in Columbus and the Columbus area that have enjoyed TSO over the past 20 years can continue to do so on December 18th. And it's going to be great. Their production value is top notch and it's going to be no different. You just won't be in person, but I guarantee you turn the lights down, turn that computer screen up, and it's gonna feel like you're there.
Yeah, we figured out how to hook the computer screen up to the big TV, right?
I know.
So
I wish I could, but you know I'm not technically or I am technically challenged.
But you find somebody who can do that for you. It's having the right cable or something, right? But anyway, yeah. So they are doing this, and it's kind of more a little more intimate than their usual performance. But I tell you, one of my favorite experiences with TSO was one year promoting the show. I had to drive several of the band members to a local radio station, QFM 96, who's been a longtime supporter of the band, to do a little acoustic performance. Right, where they were just going to play in the studio. And I know you've been a part of many acoustic performances, but seeing the band perform away from all the lights and all the explosions and everything that had lasers, right? And seeing them just boil down to their pure essence of just the musicianship of the band, I was really blown away by, I was able to really focus on what amazing musicians they were, right? And then it is incredible. And I tell you what, this is going to still be kind of a great way to experience Trans-Siberian Orchestra as a tradition in a different way with your family here in 2020 that I'm really looking forward to checking out.
Yeah, no, that is really a good point, because sometimes with all the flash and the lights and the spectacle of it, you sometimes maybe forget how incredible these musicians really are. But I mean, the show is fantastic from a theatrical standpoint, but from a musicianship standpoint too. These are top-notch musicians, and I think most people know that. But to see it like you saw it had to be really special.
Yeah, and you know, I love the spectacle. Let me be very clear about that. I mean,
that's part of
that. That's part of the holiday magic.
Yeah, but it's kind of like an artist with the full band, and then they do like an acoustic unplugged album, which is kind of fun because it's unique. It's so good, but the real band is also incredibly good. So it's just like a different take.
Yeah, for sure. Well, another artist who's played a couple of December shows that have become kind of holiday themed here at both the Schottenstein Center and Nationwide Arena over the past decade has been Andrea Bocelli. Andrea Bocelli is also doing a virtual show from a theater in Italy, right? And I'm not going to butcher the name of it, but it's December 12th. And again, you want those details, of course, go. Andrea, the Facebook pages seem to be the best places to find the links where you can find them easily. I know it's pinned there to the top of Andrea's page. And but he's doing a show from this theater in Italy that's going to be broadcast to the world, and sounds like a very cool time. You had the chance to see Bocelli recently, right?
Yeah, last December at the Schott, and it was phenomenal. You know, it's a different kind of a show for at arenas, I think, where we're used to rock and roll and country and family shows and that sort of thing. He just knocked your socks off. As far as the Christmas show goes, wait till you hear him do "Oh Holy Night." At Easter time, I believe it was in front of the Vatican. He did Ave Maria, which it brought tears to your eyes. I can't imagine what a whole Christmas concert is going to be like. When he played the Schott, it was in December, but it wasn't necessarily a Christmas show. This is going to be really special. One thing I remember about the Andrea Bocelli show was backstage, his dog took a liking to me. I would just say that.
Oh, that's good. It's best that we leave it just there.
I'm a dog guy, and dogs tend to know who dog people are. And it was automatically drawn to me. And Andrea Bocelli's wife would pick up the dog and they move along. And next thing you know, this little tiny dog is running towards me again and jumping up on me. And just, we had a connection.
Now, speaking of dogs with connections, I have to mention it since Jules, the arena dog, just had a birthday, right?
Oh my gosh, what a memory. Yes, she turned 10 years old, 29th of November. And we had a little celebration. She got some vanilla ice cream, which is totally safe for dogs, by the way. Her birthday hat, and we had a little celebration. She's just a sweet dog, and I'm glad she's the arena dog. And they grow like your kids. They just grow up so fast.
They grow up so fast. Well, somebody who grew up in the public eye from her time on American Idol to shows. She's done a couple shows at the Schottenstein Center. Let's talk about Carrie Underwood. And she's doing some cool stuff here for the holidays.
You know what she is now? I believe she's in the top 10 of the top or most successful country female artists of all time now.
Wow.
That in a relatively short period of time. She is amazing. Her voice is amazing. And she has a new Christmas CD out and a new Christmas special, which you can share details with her. And she's been making the rounds on a lot of the talk shows talking about it. And she mentions one song that she does with her, I believe it's her son. It brought tears to her eyes. And actually, it's knowing that it affected her that way kind of affects you when you listen to it for the first time, because you know of that kind of special connection and what it meant to her. And it's just kind of neat. She just has a lot of great songs in this album, and I know on the Christmas special as well.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Christmas albums and Arena Guy, here's a little sneak preview. Next week, we're going to talk greatest Christmas songs of all time.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So I know I didn't want to just throw that on you. I want to know you want to think about that for a few days. But
I'll include one that is in the top 10 this year, about 40 years after it originally came out.
Well, that's a good tease. I like it. I like it. All right, that's a golden radio tease right there.
Yeah.
No, but Carrie Underwood, I love hearing Christmas albums and what different artists do with some of the traditional classics, and then when they bring their own stuff. And Carrie with her voice, of course, is great. The special, as you mentioned, it's on HBO Max. So it is one of the streaming service shows, but it's there available for on demand when you want to check it out, which is kind of cool. And if you're checking, haven't had HBO Max yet, I know they're running a lot of like free 7-day specials, so you can subscribe for a week, and then if you like it, stick around. But if not, we've all got a lot of streaming services. But this one definitely could be worth checking out, especially if you're looking for a little country Christmas.
Absolutely. But you know what? I feel like she kind of transcends country. She's definitely country, but I feel she's got like a country pop voice.
For sure.
In my opinion. And, I kind of like Carrie Underwood for a lot of reasons. One, I'm crazy about American Idol. Followed it from the very beginning when it was Kelly and Justin in the final two. But Carrie Underwood is one of the first shows that I worked after coming to Columbus.
Oh, really?
She played the Schottenstein Center, and was able to.
2011?
I think so. Well, I don't know. I came here in 2012, so it must have been around.
So it must have been December. It must have been, I think, December 2012.
Okay, and I was so happy to have the chance to say hello to her, and she was as sweet as you envisioned from the TV interviews and everything. I think she's one of those artists that are very genuine. What you see is who they really are, and I was very happy to see that because being a big fan of hers from Idol and then watching her career grow from that, that was great to see.
Yeah, and I remember that show specifically because we kept running out of tickets. It was one of those shows where every ticket was gone, and we would call Carrie's manager and say, "Hey, can we open up this section? And can we open up this section? Can we open up this part? And so we just couldn't get enough tickets. It was just a huge success and a really fun live show. But of course, if you can't do it live, a great way to do it is virtually. And in this case, yeah, HBO Max is where you can check out Carrie. One of the cool shows that I just heard about today that I didn't even know this was happening, December 17th, our friends at the Harmony Project.
Yes.
Here in Columbus are doing a little holiday virtual online performance. And you've been part of that fun for over the years.
It's just such a great holiday show. I mean, they do holiday music, but they also do pop music in their own unique style. And they've been a part of shows here for the past couple of years. And of course, COVID doesn't allow them to perform in the arenas this year. So they're doing it virtually, and still don't miss it. It is really good. One, it's a great organization, and their story is fantastic. Just look up the story, and it will almost make you cry at the great success of Harmony Project and what they've been able to do, and the national attention that they really get starting here from Columbus. But it's going to be virtual this year. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's always a show that I look forward to.
Yeah, that one, December 17th, and the link there, again, much like the other ones, on their Facebook page, you can just check out Harmony Project. So we talked about a few of the
They got a lot of attention. Whoops, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
They got a lot of attention a couple years ago when on the CBS Sunday morning show, Jane Pauley featured them in a news story, and they just blew up nationally as well. And that attention from the Jane Pauley story was incredible. And she was so impressed by them that she actually came to Columbus one year to MC the concert. That was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about feeling good in an event. Harmony Project, when you are there, there's just a something special in the air where you just feel good about life, right? And that's
100%, yeah.
Boy, that's a good feeling in 2020.
You know what? It seems like we say this every year. Oh my gosh, 2019, 2018. I can't wait to start fresh in a new year. I don't think it's ever been more true than this year. Let's get rid of 2020, start fresh in 2021. There's optimism ahead. Things will hopefully restart ahead. And, we're going down that path. It's going to be so much better than 2020, and let's get rid of this year.
I've been so excited to ring in a new year. I've never been so excited to, actually like be Happy New Year, right? When I shout it this year, I'm really going to mean it.
Yeah, I think so too.
So we talked about some of the shows that are coming up, but I know there've been some other great holiday shows over the years at that I'm sure you've been to. One that comes to mind, the one and only Donnie and Marie. I know that was a personal favorite of yours.
I didn't know you were going to say that. I should have known you were going to say that because I actually loved that show. I actually loved the show. I feel like, Donny Osmond, if his name wasn't Donnie and he went by Don or Donald, well, he probably wouldn't have the same, I don't know, there's something about Donnie, I guess. But the Idol thing, some people just keep going back to that. I feel like he is an incredibly talented guy, great vocalist, a great entertainer, great charisma, and team him with Marie. It was just so unique, and that was such a fun show. And there are a lot of people who think of Donny Osmond as the teen idol and Donnie Marie from the TV show as being maybe a little bit corny. So because I've been pretty vocal in saying how much I love that show, I've caught some grief on that. But I challenge anyone to go see that concert and not have a good time.
Yeah, it was a perfect Christmas show.
It's just like what we were talking about, what makes a Christmas show good and why people enjoy it so much. They brought all of that to the table. Carols, the holiday stuff, humor. It was really good. I've worked with Donnie separately and Marie separately and then together multiple times, and it is always a good time, always.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun, and definitely look forward to having them back at the arena again soon. Any other holiday shows over the years that you've been to, whether as a fan or one that always sticks out for me, that it's a holiday show, but only a holiday show in Columbus, Ohio, which is the Harlem Globetrotters.
Right.
because every year, that seems like for at least the past 10 years, they have played either the Schottenstein Center or Nationwide Arena in that short window right around Christmas and New Year's. And it's become a holiday tradition in my family that we always go see the Globies, and definitely going to miss that this year. They're doing some fun stuff online as well, but I look forward to having those guys back again here soon for sure.
Yeah, well, there are a few that stick out in my mind in my career. In addition to being in Columbus, I was at the University of Illinois at the arena there for probably longer than I care to admit, but I loved it there as I love it here. One was Vince Gill's Christmas show. It was so good. In fact, coming up sometime before Christmas on the Arena Guy Facebook page, I will post a picture of Vince Gill with me and a couple members of our staff. Vince was being Vince, Mr. Vince Grant.
Yeah.
He's married to Amy Grant. But some of our staff, including myself, are wearing elf outfits. And Zen, a member of our staff, is wearing, I believe, a Santa Claus outfit.
He's our Grand Poobah, so that's
surrounded by Vince Gill. And Vince Gill has a look on his face like, I agreed to do this? But it actually is a good picture, and I will post that before Christmas. So that's kind of fun. And that was just another nice, straightforward Christmas show with a great band and everything you would expect. Martina Mcbride is another one that I feel is like Carrie Underwood. She's kind of has a pop country voice.
Yep.
And she developed this Christmas tour that you only go out with Christmas tours for maybe 4 or 6 weeks at the most each year. And she would take it to different parts of the country each season and use the same production that they developed. So it was a high production show, and it was really good. One of my all-time favorites was one that had a great Christmas tradition on television for many years, before a lot of our viewers were probably old enough to watch, but the Andy Williams Christmas show. We did that, and it's the most wonderful time of the year, as we alluded to early on. His Christmas tour was as legendary as his regular concerts, and that was great. Mannheim Steamroller, those are some good ones that pop in my head. I know I'm a big Josh Groban fan, and we did him last year, and he's doing a virtual concert coming up in a couple of weeks, and a few people like that, Dolly Parton, Mariah Carey. So there's a lot of I don't know. You're right. When they start singing Christmas music, there's just something about it that becomes special.
It does. It warms your heart, which is great. And
that sounds very corny, but it's true.
I was at the. It is corny, but I was at that Martina Mcbride show at Nationwide Arena, and I don't think she's done it for a few years, but that was it was a great holiday show, and really
top production.
Yeah, top notch.
Yeah.
Well, so many great shows, and you want details on any of them, you can visit the artists' Facebook pages. As we mentioned, that's the best place to check out the links, because some of them are purchased, right? Some of these some folks are doing it for free, streaming stuff online. But hey, it's 2020, and some people need to make some money too. So there's definitely some of these where you can buy tickets, or even like TSO is doing their own merchandise that's exclusive for this year's holiday performance, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, really great. To go off track just a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
These things stay in my head. We haven't done one of these for several months, but one of our last ones, we talked about the greatest guitar solos of all time.
Uh-oh.
And we mentioned them, and it's kind of like off the top of our heads. But as time goes on, when I'm listening to the radio or listening to music, any way you listen to music, oh man, I wish I would have said that. And so
it's been stuck for like 9 weeks.
Oh, I know, or longer. Yeah. Journey, Who's Crying Now? Isn't that a great solo at the end?
Yeah.
And these are by no way definitive, because there are great guitarists like Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton, some of these people, Jimi Hendrix, all these, Eddie Van Halen, who just do incredible guitar solos. But these are ones that have popped in my head since we talked. Who's Crying Now? Smooth, Santana and Rob Thomas.
Sure. Carlos Santana, I mean, come on.
Well, he's awesome, but that particular song I feel like is really awesome. Layla, Eric Clapton, that guitar solo at the end, Stairway to Heaven, of course. I heard one yesterday, and this is a song we all know, but you either take it for granted or you just kind of forget about it. But I heard 25 or 6 to 4 by Chicago. that guitar solo kicks. And I actually cranked the radio, and it was so good. And I thought that's what prompted me to bring this up right now, is because, you know, I have to mention this. So, you know, I don't let things go. I keep thinking of things from past, and of course I have to say Funeral for a Friend.
Oh, of course. Well, we almost made it through a podcast without an Elton John mention. There it is.
I had to get it in there, but it's still good. So there, you know, that's my unfinished business.
There you go. Yeah, no, that's good. I just heard, I think it was Steely Dan Do It Again, where I was listening, and a guitar solo that was like, oh, sometimes you hear a song so often that you kind of forget about how awesome it is. I tell you, for some reason, let's do it with some fresh ears, and it's not a background. You actually put it in the foreground, and you go, oh, like you did with Chicago, right? And Chicago's one of those bands, just by the way, we're going off on a tangent now, but one of those bands that played Columbus so many times over the years. Their last show that we had, I think, was their show with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes.
And it was,
go ahead.
That was just an amazing show, right? It was an amazing night. And some of those shows we kind of took for granted because they came to town all the time. Tell you, I'm done with that. I'm not taking any show for granted again.
Oh, I know. There was what was especially fun for you and me, being big music fans. We had a special guest in the audience that night for Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire, and that was Mary Wilson from the Supremes. And so we got to talk to her, and yeah. I mean, awesome, legend. You know, I was more excited to meet her than just about anyone I've met in a long, long time, because she's just a big legend. So she was in the audience that night. She didn't perform, but she was in the audience that night. Another thing about Chicago, that about your point about taking them for granted, is they just recently, about I guess like 2 years ago, were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, very late. And I always felt like if they hadn't gone David Foster-ish in,
sure.
Foster was their producer.
I know exactly what you mean.
Hard to Say I'm Sorry. It's like when a lot of like hair bands or heavy metal bands did their ballad that went top 40, and some people said, well, maybe they sold out a little bit or whatever. Chicago did Hard to Say I'm Sorry, and a bunch of these other kind of adult contemporary hits. If that never happened, if their career ended before that happened, they would have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame long before, because of their innovative brass sound, and their sound was so different, and they were very innovative and impactful. And I sometimes feel like the adult contemporary part of some of these artists kind of, for some reason, makes their previous work overlooked. You know what I mean?
It dilutes their cool factor. Now, we'll love both eras of Chicago.
Right. It doesn't mean that music wasn't good, but you're right. It dilutes maybe the innovative part.
Yeah.
And it becomes just melodic and hit songs, which is great. And we all sing along when they come on the radio. But when you think of early Chicago, you go, man, those guys, I haven't heard this before.
Yeah, and it does. It really cooks, which is great stuff. You mentioned greatest guitar solos, so I'm just going to break the news to you now that we just got my 18-year-old son his first electric guitar. That's his big Christmas gift.
Okay,
so,
good.
I've been hearing a lot of the world's not greatest guitar solos.
That's good. Didn't you get him drums earlier?
He's got, he's a big, we're a music family, right? So he's got drums. He's got a trumpet. He's playing. He's taking piano lessons. So, but he wanted to do the guitar, right? At the end of the day, don't we all want to be a guitar hero? So,
and those of us have not a single ounce of musical talent still play air guitar, or me air piano.
Yeah,
by yourself,
Same.
Just pray no one's looking through the window. But
for those of you who are still with us, God bless you. And you see that we're just a couple of friends catching up, because life is and the arena. I got been working helping run the COVID testing facility for Ohio State.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Thank you for doing that. Everyone does. I mean, that's important work, and you were away from the arenas for a little bit as you were devoting your efforts full time, as were many others. But that was very important work, and now you're back part time.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, wherever they need me, right?
Yeah.
But it's good for those of us who listen in. Thanks for just listening. We always aim to just be a couple of friends sitting around a table backstage at the arena. that you're just hanging out with. And so thank you for that. We're grateful for that as we have a chance to catch up ourselves. And again, Arena Guy, if somebody wants to follow along or see those pictures with Vince Gill, where's the best place for them to go?
And leave it to me to always be the one that goes on tangents. I mean, that's just who I am. It's my McGarry tangent, the Arena Guy. Facebook, the Arena Guy. Twitter and Instagram has not been as active as it should be because I'm minus Arena Guy interns, but Facebook for sure. These video chats will be on Facebook, and you know, the Arena Guy and Dave, we've done audio podcasts which we put on YouTube, and it's kind of fun to go back and listen to those, or go back to wherever you listen to podcasts. We've got a little library of those. Hopefully we'll resume those someday when the world allows, but this is a lot of fun. And I would say Facebook and YouTube, Twitter.
Yeah, for sure. And Arena Guy, I always love seeing all the pictures you post there of your adventures over the years. So some great stuff there for sure. And look forward to many adventures to come, my friend.
Yes, and there will be another one tomorrow. We mentioned him earlier. Tomorrow, can you believe it? Donny Osmond celebrates a birthday tomorrow. How do you? I know that off the top of my head. Isn't that sad?
I think we need to wrap it up here. For the latest show info, of course, you can visit schottensteincenter.com and nationwidearena.com. And I hear you saying show info. Yeah, we're working on stuff all the time. We are working on stuff every day. We are talking to people in the industry and working on a return to putting on shows. And I look forward to that day and sharing that news with you when we do have it.
Absolutely. We're working on that plan. We've got shows that I cannot wait till we announce that information. I cannot wait.
For sure. Arena Guy, always a pleasure, my friend. Great to see you again.
Great to see you. We'll talk soon.